Twitch leaks, yeah. This is actually huge. Like, if we don't know the full scope of everything that was leaked, as far as what we know right now, like basically, it's going to show leaks of.
Okay, you know what? I'm taking over. Steamrolling, because I'm in this mood from Bejeweled, you know? Twitch had a leak at roughly 2 a.m. Pacific time, 5 a.m. Eastern time, that will shape the course of Twitch history, really cybersecurity in general. This is a massive leak, and really not a leak you see very often. So Twitch had like pretty much a full-scale source leak. The entire Twitch website, how it was coded, was completely leaked. They also got three years of details on Twitch payouts, which is what we'll go into in a bit. So, like, user data regarding how much people have earned. Really, that's it.
It's like leaked data from like how like mobile, desktop, and console Twitch clients. That could be like, we don't know the full scope of what was leaked. That could be IP addresses. The biggest thing people are afraid of is like doxing of creators, like their names, addresses, potential phone numbers. Like, you know, there are female content creators who are literally like their lives are at risk over this. Like, this could seriously like fuck over Twitch. Like, this is huge.
Yeah, and this is part one of a two-part leak. They say that there is more to come, so we are guaranteed to see more. And considering the list of things already leaked, which we haven't finished, really, what else is there to leak besides, like, I don't know?
It would be names and phone numbers and addresses,
phone numbers.
Which is, and social security, you know, credit card information.
Yeah, payment information. That's what people are scared of. So 3 years of details of creator payouts on Twitch. Everyone knows that. There's already been websites that have been made to like look at payout information. The entirety of Twitch.tv, and the mobile and desktop clients for Twitch.tv. So that's a huge deal, because you're able to like really understand the workings of the client and like really like exploit vulnerabilities. Like, assuming they're not going to change the entire way Twitch was developed overnight. So like this is
no. Like, people were suggesting that they should just take down the website just so they can try to patch up some of these things, but they can't. Like, all they care about is money. That's something they really can't do like in the short term because of the amount of money they would lose.
To be fair, it's not even about the amount of money they would lose, because Amazon could take a hit. That would like legitimately ruin a lot of streamers' lives. But we'll get into the monetary side in a bit. An unreleased Steam competitor from Amazon Game Studios. I think that people are making a big deal about this, but this is a non-issue. Do you remember like the Amazon App Store? Total piece of shit.
Yeah, like every other company's come out with a million app stores, and how many of them actually do well?
I mean, Epic Games
other than like GOG or like Epic Games.
Yeah, but like Epic Games, the whole reason that it had any traction was because they were just literally throwing billions of dollars at game developers. Yeah. And even so, it's like, I hate Epic Games Store. It is the worst client ever. I fucking hate it.
It's
I
terrible.
never want to use it. It's going to be another one of those. I don't trust Amazon with that, so I don't really care that was leaked. It's always nice to have competition, though. It's not necessarily a downside. And then data on Twitch's properties like IGDB and CurseForge. I hate IGDB with a passion, and I could get into that in a little bit. I just want to get through this list. CurseForge I also hate with a passion, but no one gives a shit. And I hate
CurseForge too.
The two things that I think are really being slept on from a gaming perspective, because it's not really a game. It's being slept on in general because people care about the gaming aspect, but Twitch's internal security tools. So that's actually scary. The actual technical, what they didn't actually say this is on the website I'm reading this off of, is this is Twitch's red team operation. So a red team is basically like a chaos team. It's a part of the security team that intentionally.
Well, they're red hat hackers. Like, they're just meant to try to find exploits and shit to like, so they can patch and whatnot, right?
Yeah. So it's something internal to Amazon. They have their own processes for trying to break their own apps, and then from there, if they break an app, they'll tell like, hey, we were able to break the app. Please fix it in this way. Knowing how Twitch operates is a really, really good way to know know their blind spots, and then more vulnerabilities will come. And the fact that like Twitch is owned by Amazon, Twitch has its own culture, but like this is a peek into Amazon culture and how they operate. So it's really concerning for anyone who's using AWS. And the other part of this, the last part, is that code related to proprietary SDKs and internal AWS services used by Twitch. So this is internal Twitch code that interacts with AWS, and that's terrifying if they have
that's what I was going to say. Like, could this be... Because obviously a lot of how they handle things nowadays is probably handed down from Amazon protocol themselves, how Amazon handles things to some extent. Like, this could potentially be leaking information on how, like, even some of the other parts of Amazon operate.
Yep, and that's the most scary thing. That's why this is not something to sleep on if you're just not into games. Because, like, if you have any interest in cybersecurity, which as a cybersecurity cloud engineer, this is, like, literally up my alley, people are scared. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, there's anything we can do right now. We don't even know the extent of this leak.
Listen, people are here to listen to the meat and potatoes of this. We want to know how much money Pokimane makes.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get into, like, the implications of all this stuff. Oh, one last thing. Change your password, because they also got apparently encrypted passwords from people, and while it's unlikely with only having the encrypted passwords,
I mean, I have 2-factor
and 2FA, but apparently something regarding 2FA also leaked, so people are saying still change your password, but it's still relatively... It's unlikely, even if they have all the information, that your account information is going to get
I'm changing
hijacked.
my password from Hunter1 to Hunter2.
Oh, shit. I mean, because it goes into a hash, that would look completely different. So you're good. What I'm trying to get into now is the meat and potatoes, as Dana put it, because I've steamrolled this conversation. Take it away. How much does Pokimane make in a month?
I got the whole thing right here. So this is for 2021, the month of September. Like, the money these people are making is actually quite insane. This is August 2019 to October 21. Pokimane made $1.5 million on Twitch. Now, this is not counting donations, merch, money that goes directly from them. This is payouts directly from specifically Twitch, with people such as, like, Critical Role or XQC making upwards of $9 million. That's fucking insane. Damn, Clint Stevens made $323,000.
So the thing is, I understand, like, talking about Pokimane just because Pokimane is, a public figure, and that she is also... This information is everywhere, and everyone is probably talking about Pokimane's cash money relations. That being said, I'm going to be a massive hypocrite in here and say that even though this is extremely interesting stuff, gotta respect people's privacy a little bit. I'm so conflicted because I just want to look at every single person on this list and be like, oh, how much money they make. But, like, I know that
I mean, you might as well just do it.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, I know that if I was put in this position and my salary was just, like, on a website, it's like, hey, look at Sam's salary, I'd be like, I don't really want people to.
It's absolutely fucking terrible.
So
I guess the biggest thing for me is because there are people on this list who literally, I guess this is more on the political side of thing. There's people that literally, like, post all the time, like, I'm literally I'm suffering, I'm starving, I'm this, I'm that, I have no money, blah blah blah, donate to this, donate to that, like, I'm part of the revolution, blah blah blah, and then you look and they make $15,000 a month.
The thing is, there's two parts. One, I agree. If someone is like, oh, I'm struggling, give me more stuff, and they have over, like, 2,000 subs, it's like, that's really just preying on children. I don't really know anyone else who would, like, fall for such BS. But I am personally gonna be in the opposite camp of you and say I am very surprised how little people towards the top operate. Like, the fact of the matter.
Once again, this is just payouts from Twitch only. Like, this is probably 10% of, like, what they do as far as, like, donations, that kind of stuff. Like, none of that's factored in.
First of all, I like, unless you have massive brand deals and, like, you're making money from that, which a lot of these people are, like, people always talk about donations and merch. A lot of content creators say that basically it's 50-50 if they're Twitch creators. They get 50-50 revenue from Twitch and donations because Twitch has honestly implemented a lot of stuff that has taken away some of the donation cut, like bits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's less. It's not like a 10x factor, but even so, like, it's not necessarily like those at the top, those who are making over $1 million a year. I honestly kind of expected that. Like, people like XQC making $4 million a year. People like, honestly, like, the fact of the matter is, like, Ninja, if he was on this list, he'd be towards the top, but, like, he's on YouTube. But if you look at this list and you go...
Ninja's on here. He made $1.3 million.
Oh, he did? Okay. Oops. Well, is he back on Twitch? I don't know. I don't care.
He's on Twitch right now.
Okay.
Like, Games Done Quick did $1.18 million on payouts from Twitch, like,
which is good. But like, what I want to say is, like, there's this website that he's viewing right now that has the top 10,000 ranked streamers by revenue since 2019, the last 2 years of data. And when you think of how many people stream, 10,000 people have done the math is roughly 0.1% of streamers on Twitch. So, or people who have streamed at least once in this year. So I don't really want to say active streamers. You can't really get those metrics. Like how many hours would you consider? Picante's not going to be on that list just because he hasn't streamed in over a year. So, or actually not over a year, but about a year. So like, I don't make enough for the threshold in just 1 year alone, but there was a chance I would be on this list if I actually continued it. But the point I want to make is like, yeah, a streamer like me who streamed 20 hours a week, who's doing it as a hobby, that has potential to make it in the top 10,000 streamers on Twitch.
Yep.
The bottom 10,000 in 2 years has made $23,000, which honestly, if you had an extra $23,000, an extra $10,000 a year, you'd be hyped, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is,
this doesn't show how many people don't make shit on this website.
No, I think it definitely shows how many people don't make shit, because $20,000 a year, and that's the top 0.1% of streamers and higher make $20,000 and up. $10,000 a year, which is what 20,000 is in 2 years. $10,000 a year is half of minimum wage. So how many of these streamers make?
Well, that's what I'm saying is like there are so many. How many streamers are on this platform? Like millions, like tens of millions of streamers, and it's like only this small amount of people are actually making like a little bit of money.
Even larger streamers, I bet you would recognize some of these names and like around like 5,000, 4,000. Like they're making the top 1,000. The drop off is from $1 million a year. And then at 1,000, it's roughly 90,000 a year, which I mean, like 90,000 is like a good salary. But if you go into college and you go to tech, like you're making that like a lot 9 times out of 10, just due to the fact that like you have a nice degree and you're working a nice job, assuming you could get into a nice. Okay, I shouldn't say it's very common to be making $90,000 to $100,000 a year, but I'm saying it is significantly more normal in the general workforce to make $100,000 a year than it is to be in the top 1,000 streamers on the platform. Like really, streaming is not as viable as people think, and like sure, people knew that. Like becoming a streamer or an influencer or a YouTuber is like this generation's becoming a rock star, like in the 80s and 90s. But I'm hoping that this at least illuminates how hard.
Insane how much money some of these people make. Like even like people that like we know.
Streaming is a lot of work, and most people put in more than 40 hours a week, and the results they're getting out of it are not necessarily that much better.
Absolutely.
The thing is, like, you could argue that you're able to do your passion, but just to keep it real, to talk about streaming, like when you do something enough, the passion gets sucked out of you. Like if you're doing Mario for like 40 hours a week, I'm not even talking about me, I'm talking about 3 Cats at this point. If you're doing the same Kaizo Mario stuff 40 hours a week, you can't play another game because that's going to kill your viewership, and then it becomes a job. So this is really grueling work without as much benefit as people say. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is like I hope that people who want to become a streamer can look at this information and be like, hey, maybe it's not realistic to be in the top 1,000 streamers of, just the entire platform. Twitch is kind of big, TBH.
One thing I will say, though, there are a couple people on here that I am quite happy to see, in like the top, like up higher. People that like have like lower viewership, like people have kind of fallen off, and it's like it's good to see like, hey, they're still doing well and stuff like that, because I respect their content and really much enjoy it. So
this is like such a weird thing to like shout out to my streamer. He's high up on the money rankings. Like I don't. It just sounds so weird to me. It also sheds a light to like how important these exclusivity deals are, because these people are getting paid significantly more than they make in multiple years to make these deals. Like like sure, like not everyone is making ninja bucks moving from Twitch to Mixer, but a lot of these people, it makes more sense why they're taking these deals, because I feel like people don't realize how much, like even some of the most visible streamers on the platform, they're making bank, but they're not making, like some people I expected to be in the tens of millions, and there's no one in the tens of millions, at least on this list. So
yeah,
there we go. That's that.
The biggest one is Critical Role. That's the biggest surprise to me. He's the number one paid out on Twitch. But I think that's because they had like special deals with like celebrities to be on it and stuff like that to like show out to the platform and things like that. So I think that's like a special case.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard from doing a little bit of research. But yeah, I really don't have any other comments besides that. Just to talk about the leaks a little bit more on a different subject, I hope IGDB goes down in flames. IGDB, some data is part of this leaks. I passionately hate so much. They previously used the Giant Bomb game database when they switched.
Wait, which IGBD?
So you know what IMDb is, right?
Yeah.
So IGDB is trying to be the Internet Games Database. It was an independently ran site until Twitch bought it to be used as their games directory. So if you remember, there was a massive switch roughly 2 years ago in the provider for the games directory, and it kind of messed things up. Like, for one of the things...
I vaguely remember.
So the thing is, most people don't actually give a shit, and I probably shouldn't give a shit because I'm not really streaming anymore, but I have a personal vendetta against IGDB because IGDB does not like collection carts, and like they generally are not great about listing them, and as part of that, when they switched over to IGDB, they got rid of Super Mario All-Stars as a category. It's still gone today.
Oh, I remember that.
Fuck
yeah.
IGDB. The second thing is, they separated all the Pokemon games. So previously, you'd be streaming to Pokemon Black and White. Now you can only stream to Pokemon Black or Pokemon White, which was terrible for the viewership. Not sure if that's been resolved.
Yeah, that's terrible.
IGDB sucks. They got rid of a lot of games that are legitimate games. The process of getting a game on there is harder. It's a lot of bureaucracy. Their Discord somehow keeps pinging me, even though I've muted all notifications. I don't know how it happens. They suck so much. Go down in flames. Go back to Giant Bomb. I'm an admin on Giant Bomb, so I could add. I'm a game database admin on Giant Bomb.
Are you an admin just like on everything? You have like your hands in like every pie.
So the thing is, that's a permanent thing, and the great thing about the real reason I'm upset why they're using IGDB is because on Giant Bomb I have the ability to make games, and no one has to approve them because I have enough points. So that means I can make any fake bullshit game I want, and I did that a lot. And they got rid of them when they moved to IGDB, and I'm pissed.
What, do you have like Poo Poo Time 64 or something like that?
I would just do like inside jokes in the Mario community. Like one of my favorite streamers, Poggio. I made a category called Poggio. Now Poggio streams to Poggio, but that one survived somehow. A lot of the other ones didn't. Like I like Emolga Enthusiast. You know the Pokemon.
Yeah,
that's not a game, but it was on Twitch. Like tame stuff. I wasn't trying to go like shit world or anything like that. Like
you're not like racial slur adventure.
No, okay, I would not do that regardless. But no, what's that one banned game on Twitch, the Maiden Rape Assault or whatever? Like, yeah, I'm not making like the sequel to be on the games database. That's all I have. I'm worried about the next set of leaks because I really don't want my credit card information and personal information out there. I know that like me being doxxed honestly would not be a big deal, but some of these streamers, especially female streamers, I think that like,
it's genuinely scary. Like, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with this part too. Like people's lives are genuinely at stake with this. And like, yeah, it's like the whole, Amazon AWS, all these leaks and stuff like that. But when we mentioned earlier, like this could be like one of the biggest, like most impactful leaks of all time. Like, we're not joking. Like, nothing ever happens to the scale in this age.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, the thing that's really gonna like be bad and like we're really downplaying it is like the 95 Chinese companies that just copy paste Twitch's source code and make their own Chinese Twitch. Because it's out there. Oh, actually, no, one last thing, and I'm actually genuinely pissed about this, and it makes me sad, and it makes me feel lied to and betrayed. Part of the source code leaks was that they found out that Golden Kappa is not random at all.
Really?
So Golden Kappa is something that is manually awarded by a whitelisted set of admins on Twitch. So if you are one of those admins, you could put it on any person's channel, but it's not random. You're not going to just get it unless that admin's watching you and graces you with it's there. The thing is, people are saying that, yeah, while technically this code is in there, there could be another part of uncovered code that is not saying
Holy shit, the Golden Kappa conspiracy.
So all those times I did a Golden Kappa check, worthless. Well, 90% worthless. No one has found any other code that would refute this.
Who spams Kappa anymore?
No one spams Kappa, but you still see a Golden Kappa check. It's different than spamming Kappa. Kappa is an outdated emote. Kappa is actually a terrible emote. I'm not one of those people. Like, some people actually ban it in their chat because it's like, someone's like, I think you look ugly and I hope you die, Kappa. It's like, oh no, you're just saying mean things to me and using Kappa because you think that,
it's not a joke. It's like
some people do that, so like it's kind of a problematic emote, but OPOP, way better alternative. No, very underrated. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Resident Sleeper is the best emote.